In this morning's Business Insight, the Day of the Starving Artist is coming to an end. If the School for Creative and Performing Arts has anything to do about it, SCPA has launched a Making a Living in the Arts program. It will call on the business savvy of local arts leaders to guide students who have gifts for making music and art to also making money while doing it. Joining us this morning to talk about the program is Nick Nisley, SCPA's Executive Director. He joins Business Courier editor Rob Dawmeyer in the studio. Nick and Rob.
Peg, thank you. Nick, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for the invitation.
So let's start out with this. Tell us more about what the program is and why you guys decided to start it.
Yeah, so this program goes by the acronym of MALITA, M-A-L-I-T-A,
Okay.
Making a Living in the Arts. And Making a Living in the Arts is essentially a program about affording our students an opportunity to grow into that professional identity of an artist. And it does it as a career development opportunity. The students work with Evans Mirages from the opera, who's the convener and the facilitator, and over 5 times this year they're going to gather with him for these salon-like learning opportunities with other guests, and they're going to learn about how to become working professional artists.
Why now? What happened, or what is happening in the arts world that made this program make sense in 2019?
Yeah. Let me say first, generally, we've all heard that somewhat derogatory metaphor of the starving artist.
Yeah.
And that's a story that we don't want our graduates to believe in. It's a myth. The arts, the entertainment industry is one of the biggest industries in the world. They are not starving.
Right.
And if we keep putting them out there as graduates believing that, they might actually, fall into that. So first and foremost, we want them not to believe in that myth. But second, last year we did a student survey, a graduate survey, and they said one of the areas we could improve most in was their college and career counseling. So this is a data-based decision for us to how do we help those students be better prepared as they enter the workforce as artists.
Do you have to kind of, do you feel like you're going to have to kind of push the students into this? Artists have you're right, artists do have a reputation is maybe that they're not thinking about this. They're so intently focused on what they're doing right now. It's an in-the-moment form of being, much more so than business. How hard do you think it's going to be to get kids interested in, obviously you've said you've done some research on this, but how hard do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, I don't think hard at all. We've had 2 sessions so far. Our students are actually thirsty for this. They want to get all the information they can. They're excited to learn more because they understand that, yes, they have an artistic practice, but that practice is, out there in the larger context of society. This is how they're making a living, and they want those tools.
Why, the story mentions this, why are there fewer full-time jobs in the performing arts than there were, let's say, 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's maybe not so much fewer, but what happens is students go through these usually very rigid, highly prescribed programs where they might be studying oboe at the school at SCPA for 12 years. They go to a conservatory for another 4 years, and they're competing for one symphony job out there in the country.
Right.
Those are such few jobs. We want to continue to encourage them in that dream and that vision, but they also might have to quilt together a career that is in pursuit of that vision. They might also run a 501c3. They might also be doing private lessons. They might be doing other things. So we want to help them be better equipped as creative entrepreneurs.
And I would also think that the last thing in the world you guys want to see is an artist become a former artist, right? You don't want somebody that just cannot subsist and not be able to perform or to practice what they love. So I assume that this program should help that as well.
Absolutely, and I should say that our graduates, some go into the arts, some go into other fields. They're lawyers, they're doctors. Our superintendent of Cincinnati Public Schools is an SCPA graduate.
Yeah.
Our vice mayor is an SCPA graduate. Some go into the arts. We're trying to make sure that those who go into the arts understand how they can thrive, not as a starving artist, but as a thriving artist.
Well, it's a great story. Thank you so much for helping us with it. It's a wonderful program, and we look forward to hearing more about it later.
Thank you, Rob.